Hey, glad to be back with you. Excuse the beard here. I think I'm going to grow one before I go on this long hiking trip. But as I've mentioned many times, I was a DC tour bus driver before I was privileged to move to Arizona. And one of the things I did at that time, I wanted to buy an airplane, so I'd work on my day off, and I would go out and find locations for the bus companies. In other words, hotels sold the tours. And I got a wonderful location. It was the Holiday Inn at 1715 Rhode Island Avenue Northwest, called the Governor's House. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. And they really sold a lot of tours for us. I mean, like half a busload, which was unusual. Well, that was my money, and I wanted to keep bringing that money in so I could get me a little Cessna 150. Now, I went to the White House with a busload of people. And the lady got off the bus, and a lot of people always would make jokes like, "Shall I say hello to President Bush for you? Are we going to eat with him?" But the lady asked me, in all seriousness, she had 3 children. She says, "Ron, will the president come down and meet us today? Talk to us." And like a horse's butt I can be sometimes, I snapped back or replied. I said, "Yes." I said, "Why did you ask me that?" She said, "Well, we paid $130 for the tour." I said, "Oh, in that case," I said, "he'll be right down." Boy, they headed across. Now, I was at the north side of Lafayette Park, 8th Street, right across from St. John's Church. Well, as she leaves, boy, my heart just went into my throat. I said, "Why did I be such a wise hammer?" And boy, I worried. I said, "Well, if she went back and complained to that hotel, we could lose that account. Then very well, I didn't think I'd lose my job, but they probably wouldn't let me sell no more. Go out and find locations, and I need that day's work really bad." Excuse my dog is barking. Well, I decided to keep my cool, and she comes back. The passengers started coming back from the White House. These passengers didn't have tickets. They were out of tickets. I sent them on an individual basis. Well, she comes at the bus, and she's got a smile on her face. And I said, "Well, how did it go?" And she says, "Ronnie, would you believe that Millie, the first dog, broke loose from the Secret Service person and ran her over to my children? They had a chance to play with the dog." Well, I got to tell you, at that point I knew Sister Bernard was right when I went to St. Aloysius. And she said that we all have a guardian angel. And boy, he sure worked hard for me that day. But that was just one of the many adventures. That's Millie behind us. And it's a beautiful dog. So I'll finish by saying the story. As you know, I talk about Scooter, my dog, and the new Scooter. Remember, animals are people too. See you next time.